Thank you, Sean and Lee, for a concise presentation, but also an informative one. So I'd just like to invite now the next group of speakers up, which is Stefano from University of Melbourne, Matthew from Urban Utilities, and Adam from AJJA.
Adam is not here, so we have Vera Cosway instead from University of Melbourne.
Welcome. So I'll just invite them up, and they'll be talking about upscaling and field demonstration of UGOL technology.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah.
This one. Is it the one I said? No. Put it on the desk. No, this stuff is what? Really? I have to bring back my Oh, it's coming. Here you go. All right, thanks. So we're here to represent the Brisbane node. Although Vera and I work for University of Melbourne, we have a very long-standing collaboration with Urban Utilities due to our past from the University of Queensland. And Matthew here has been championing this project, and not only this project, before NICE, he was the industry representative for our urine separation project that led to NICE. So this is the Brisbane node. Brisbane node revolves around one pilot unit which will be installed at the park in the middle of Brisbane. So high visibility location. We have a lot of exciting ideas about what to do with it. So what does it come from? I said we have a previous long-standing collaboration. It started in 2015 between myself and Urban Utilities. Matthew was already on that initial linkage project where we put together a dedicated toilet block at Luggage Point in Brisbane. We had some very small reactors to concentrate urine and recover selectively the nutrients from it based on some waterless urinals which are exactly the same as the ones you could see in the toilets here. So we had some visibility in the media already, and all that was before NICE. Then NICE came along and we decided we need to do more. It's just not enough to demonstrate that the technology works to actually lead to a circular economy. So we have to do the whole loop, going from urine collection to urine processing, fertilizer, optimization, and use. And so that's what we did. So we're gonna talk about the technology first, and then move into the stakeholder value chain. So in terms of technology, Vera will talk about the progress.
Sure. So I thought I'd just quickly walk you through the operational principle of the UGOLD reactor if you're not familiar with it. So it's something called bioelectroconcentration, or also microbially assisted electrodialysis. So essentially we're working with a 3-chamber system that is an electrochemical cell where the anode is, or we cultivate microbes at the anode that then catalyze the oxidation reactions taking place there, and end up concentrating all the key nutrients into this middle chamber with the help of ion exchange membranes. And at the pilot, we will be operating 10 of these 3-chamber reactors in parallel. So they will be stacked up together so that each electrode will be used by two cells on each side, but each of them will be electronically operated individually. Hydraulically, they'll be combined, which I'll show you on the next slide actually. And the total volume of this pilot stack will be 1 cubic meter. So here's just the piping and instrumentation, which is fairly small and looks complicated, but what I want you to just focus on is this is the 3 chamber setup here in the middle. So we're collecting the urine from the toilets, which I'll also be showing you in a bit. That will be going to a urine tank where urine hydrolysis will take place. It will be pumped into the anode chamber of the system, and then all the anodes of these 10 parallel reactors will be having a joint anode circulation tank, so all the anodic loops will be mixed together. The overflow will continue to the cathode, and similarly the cathode will have a joint circulation loop for all the reactors. And here we're also venting out any hydrogen gas produced at the cathode, and then essentially the effluent will just go into the sewer for further treatment. And how the site looks, so this is the exact public toilet block will be retrofitting with urine diverting toilets. So we'll be putting in 1 waterless urinal in the male toilets, and then 5 Wastman EcoFlush urine diverting toilets with a minimal water flush. So they're not completely waterless, but the flush water is still very low. And this is what the pilot will then look like there. So this is the toilet block, and then we'll be putting the pilot in a container behind it, and it will be on the outside it will look similar to the toilet block to blend in nicely. And on the inside it will look something like this. This was about a month ago when we visited HHJA to see the progress on the pilot. So these are the actual building blocks from which the UGold system will be put together. It will be placed here on this stand. This is the urine tank, some pumps, and then we'll have an extensive remote controlling, monitoring and controlling system, so that we'll also be able to keep an eye on the process from Melbourne. That's all for me.
Thanks, Vera. I'll pick up from here. So obviously this looks very big, but this is still a research tool. What we aim to do is, at the end of NICE, just package this into a modular solution which you can hold pretty much with your arms. And that's what we'll aim to commercialize. So 4 areas of objectives, or I should call this objectives and collaboration, because there's a lot of collaboration that will be needed. So first up front is technical. We've already sort of demonstrated the technology at very small scale back in 2018, but here we need to do it in a more real environment. It was real urine back then, but from a very small pool. Now we're going to go much bigger, so there's going to be a lot more variability. So we need to demonstrate the robustness, the durability, and also ability to endure shock loads and chemicals that might accidentally come into the toilet. We want to demonstrate the chemical and biological safety. So part of this will be with Anne. We'll be looking at taking samples from our system and looking at the biology. The chemistry we'll be doing at the University of Melbourne, and we'll be doing what happens to a broad range of organic chemicals in the urine. Second, moving down, is commercialization. Is one of the key outcomes that we hope to achieve from the node. So Syed will use this as a case study, so will help us with the business model, and we'll assess whether startup or IP is the right way to go. Probably it's going to be a company. Commercializing technology or the product. So that's the other thing. Maybe there's a lot of different technologies that can make the same things. So does it make sense to protect it? Maybe we just focus on the uniqueness of the product. And then from the point of view of our technology developer partner AJJA. We said if we can get 10 orders by the end of NICE, this would be an amazing outcome, which means that we've modularized it and we can sell it, and this can be implemented in locations that have similar urine collection systems in place. When it comes to the fertilizer, it's going to be in liquid form, like all the fertilizers we're developing through this hub. Determining suitable target crops, so looking at different trials, which will be done mostly by Bernadette's group at USQ. She's not here yet, but she will arrive this afternoon and she will give a talk on this point. Effects on soils and hydroponics, and that's the other collaborative piece. And finally, engagement and communication. We will never be able to mainstream this if we're not able to get the public on board and the end users on board. So there's a working group already set up for the Brisbane node, meeting regularly every few weeks to design outreach, education, communication material, which will also be shared with the broader NICE hub. And social research will take form of QR codes and surveys on site. So this, with Cara and Griffith, actually, so all of these projects are involving quite a few partners in the hub: University of Melbourne, Urban Utilities, AJJA, City Park Lands, Brisbane City Council, Griffith University, and the University of Southern Queensland. So to finish off, Matthew will spend a couple of minutes on what the value chain looks like.
Thanks, Stefano, and it's great to be here with everyone. It's my first NICE Hub Summit, so keen to share. So what we're trying to achieve in the NICE Hub is we're seeking to answer some of these key questions that we need to answer to improve the long-term sustainability and resilience of both our food and nutrient systems and the water systems that we fundamentally depend on for life. And as one of the wastewater utilities, I'm going to provide a little bit of perspective about how we need to think about connecting around this shared value that we will have to enable this transformation. So we've heard a little bit about today about the need to make some changes in our water systems. And we see diverting urine as having high leverage through the urban water system due to its high concentration of nutrients. We can lower the water consumption as we avoid flushing and transition UDTs. We can reduce the energy consumption and greenhouse gas emissions and costs for wastewater treatment with flow-on effects down to nutrient loads to our waterways. But another aspect of this from the wastewater utilities perspective is that we can reduce that scale of our future STP treatment upgrades with relatively minor interventions on urine source separation in our urban catchments. Challenge is, how does this translate into affordability for our customers? With urban densification, we think the opportunities for decentralized treatment will increase. So we think there's good engineering evidence coming out of our research institutions and partners of the potential value to wastewater utilities and our cities. And as wastewater utilities, we provide essential services, but also we're well connected with local governments and state governments and the development sector. And we're beginning to, we like to use the phrase, have a seat at the table in terms of shaping the future of our cities. So the question for us is, what does this opportunity mean for the way that we evolve our systems, and particularly their long-term financial sustainability? Some of those challenges that we have around the age and capacity of our assets being mentioned. But crucially, what is our role? What's our role in enabling and influencing this transformation, given the connections that we have? But many of the elements, like the value chain, in terms of the nutrient cycles, sit outside our traditional circle of influence. I think it's one of the key things that I'm keen for this project to help us understand. So when we look at the nutrient system, we have these multiple global factors that are influencing nutrient security, nutrient sources that are non-renewable, and potential markets around that, particularly in Australia. Urine has huge potential to meet some of this demand and green some of this demand, if you like. In the built environment, scaling up the technologies and markets will require a shift in a mindset about what's the role of buildings in our cities as we transform them into green production hubs. Where are the opportunities that we can foster new industries and implement strategies to enhance livability locally? It's going to require shaping and influencing policies, plumbing standards, regulations, health and understanding health risks and performance of fertilisers all the way through. So in the Brisbane hub, we kind of see a lot of these threads coming together in our trial at Victoria Park, Barrambin. It's a former golf course in Brisbane's inner city that's being transformed over the next few years with a vision for a world-class park. The park already recycles a lot of organics on site, and the vision for the master plan is around, among other things, saving water, partnering for water transformation, showcasing the future of water systems, and looking to the 2032 Olympics. Brisbane is on the world stage. You know, you probably hear a lot of the marketing around the event being the Green Olympics, and you know, we're going to have a lot of visitors coming from overseas and visiting the city and Victoria Park. By then we'll be significantly more developed and grown. And so it's within this context that both urban utilities and the council, park planners and operators are seeing the project as a shared value opportunity to activate the site, a project and a place to partner on research and understand the operation and user experience of the toilets, the value of the product, so we can be better informed about our strategic direction and the practical considerations of implementing in a real world setting. So this is, for the Brisbane Hub, the key site where we're engaging with the public to communicate the purpose, benefits and activities of the NICE Hub through on-site learning, sharing stories from City Parklands and City Council and urban utilities, and the crucial role that nutrients and water play in our modern life and why this transformation is important. So alongside the horticulture trials, we aim to provide hopefully some of the excess product for use at Victoria Park itself. And in a way it becomes a bit of a symbol and a legacy that starts at the park and hopefully is the planting of a small seed that extends and grows out into the future. So I think from our perspective, we're really excited about the knowledge that we're developing, but importantly, how do we apply it? How do we connect up all of these different threads, the technology, the economics? What does that mean for strategy and policy going forward? So yeah, looking forward to working with you all as